But that's how these things work where I'm recording the video from. But Meg, God said not to take the apple of knowledge of good and evil from.
So, rose hips.
Those are edible?
I have to look it up, but a lot of rose hips are. I don't know if all species are.
That one looks pretty firmly attached there.
It's just because I was pulling in the wrong direction. But this way we have extras, plus the...
That's lavender?
Mm-hmm.
How does it smell?
It doesn't have a smell until you rub it.
Very faint floral.
I don't want to agitate the flowers.
So here's the lavender bush.
I'm hoping to plant it.
A little later in this.
I don't want to do your video.
Now Meg and I are sitting here on these benches having a carbohydrate break. And the carbohydrate will fuel our bicycle adventure. Although her e-bike there has pedal assist, which, you know, let's take a look. Riding a bicycle like this. It's a pontoon plane, so they can take off and land in the lake. It chirps, the front brake does that. Meg has gotten into the mochi.
I told you before, I don't want to be...
That's the edge of the mochi right there that she's holding. It's the crunchier part. This is the gooey part. Now I made this from scratch, so what I'll do is reach in here with my dirty hands and pull one off the cluster. Now these things are absolutely delicious. I was watching Luke of the Outdoor Boys, and his wife makes these for him. They're called coconut mochi. So the top's got shredded coconut on it, and it's kind of a mochi jelly in the middle. And they're super high caloric energy density, so you have to be eating something as extreme as... In loving memory of our mother, Joy Marie Wasty Brewster Wickenhagen, from her 7 daughters in 2023. This bench was donated. Here is a 500 watt rear hub motor that peaks at 1,000 watts. It's hooked up to the 7 rear gears here. And it's a 1x in the front, so there's only 1 gear. Up here is the computer. Is controlled by this here, where you can set the pedal assist. It's currently set to pass 1.
No,
and then
I've been riding with it in 0.
Meg's been riding in 0, but because she had a low blood sugar, she put it in pass 1 to keep up with me. Meg says she wants me to be quiet and enjoy the view. Interesting cloudscape today. See, over here is Bellevue. See the development, and then there's no development hardly over here, but that whole hill's developed. Okay. We're on the opposite side over here. We're either in Issaquah or Sammamish. This is called East Lake. Over there is West Lake. So way up there is Redmond. So part of the lake's in Redmond, part of the lake is in Sammamish, part of the lake down this way is in Issaquah, and then over on the other side, it turns into Bellevue. So 4 different cities are collecting taxes. And you want to hear the ripoff? Do you see the waterfront here? They charge the property taxes based on the number of feet of waterfront property you have, and it's like $1,000 a foot per year. Well, it varies based on which city it's in. But what a horrendous ripoff. These gyro helmets feature MIPS. That's why it can pivot like that, and she's tightening it down so the whole thing can rotate. That further protects your neck and your brain. So it's a really cool technology. I have the exact same helmet.
But you don't have the visor on.
And I don't have my visor, but if we go around here like this, you can see the MIPS. You tighten the band down like this, and then the whole helmet can pivot if you crash, which further dissipates crash energy to protect your neck and brain and head.
And you look a little bit like a mushroom while wearing it.
And we've seen other people wearing them because they're nice and bright green, and Meg got me this safety vest of the same color that acts as a windbreak.
You got it because you like that color.
I love bright green. Okay, so this is an example of shit that falls between the cracks. King County absorbed this. I'm gonna go ahead and change the view so you can see this. This house has been in disrepair for a long time. So we're here on West Lake, East Lake, one of the most expensive areas in King County, and this house has gone to seed, right? So whoever owned this left it. There's a busted trailer over here buried in the ground, a shed boarded off windows. The gate is broken and messed up, right? The whole project went bankrupt. I saw this online. So if I go over here and climb over this, you can actually see on the development sign, check out the really pretty flowers. It's a beautiful color. So if we go down here, I'll go ahead and read this off. So it says, Notice of Application RUE 2019-00130. Martin, reasonable use exception. Date of notice, May 2nd, 2019. The applicant requested a reasonable use exception, RUE, for the development of a single-family residence on a lot encumbered by critical areas and their associated buffers. The subjected property contains a wetland and is located within a critical aquifer recharge area. Parcel number 322-5069230. This is the address, north of 620 East Lake Sammamish Parkway, Sammamish, Washington. There's the phone number. If you want to contact this group, go ahead, right? I mean, just for clarity, look at the controlled crossing sections.
Right here, there's a bald eagle. There's one dead limb.
Meg's trying to spot a bald eagle.
I'm not trying to spot it. I'm trying to point it to you, who can't spot things. Dead limb sticking up like it's raising its arm.
Okay, so
Eagle's
up there,
right there.
there's an eagle at the top of this tree.
Well, the zoom is really bad.
Right here.
How bad it was.
I'll get closer to it. I was pointing out these controlled crossings. Do you see this trail? We're in literally one of the most gentrified areas in Washington state, and there's a parcel that's crapped out on one of the most expensive lakefront properties that you could possibly acquire. I mean, I'm gonna just leave this running for a second so you can see. Look at this palatial mansion, right? Look at the size of these things. These things cost millions and millions of dollars, and they've got a clapped out property across the street that's been left in disrepair. So that's what I'm talking about. Not everything works. I mean, like 2.5 million, 3 million, 5 million, I don't know. To see a house like that one in the previous section, it's crazy. This is what you call a redo. So you can see the foundation goes out all the way over here. So they're gonna build a big, gigantic house where a regular one used to be. And we can see some of the furniture they tore out of the original. If you're wondering where we are, maybe that will help. Right? That's some kind of information right here. Okay, so I know it's weird to be filming inside of a Santa can, but go ahead and look here. Micro Target Media actually must have sponsored this one. It's made by Synergy World in St. Louis, Missouri, USA. We've got a list of when it was serviced right here. And then this is how it works. I took a leak in this and it funnels down here. Here's if you have to do number 2. Pretty clean, it hasn't been used very much, and they even have toilet guards if you don't want to do what's called a floating poo. And then on your way out, there's isopropyl alcohol, so if you press this like this, it puts a wad of this goo in your hand, and then you can sanitize your hands. And Meg propped the door open with the in-use tag. So, yeah. So we're just stopped here along the East Lake Trail, and we found that thing right there. If you're wondering where along the lake, I'm going to do a pan like this so you can see where I am. This is along East Lake on the western edge. If you look behind me, there's a driveway and there's the trail. This should be easy to find if you want to look for it. All right, well, back to it. $889,000. It's got idyllic canvas, 100 feet of Lake Sammamish waterfront. You can see in the images here, like this. This is what we're talking about. So they want 900 grand or $1 million for this lot down here, right? And if we walk this off, we can see they have a shack right here in disrepair, right? It's not terrible, but for $1 million, right? But it is 100 feet of waterfront, so it goes down quite a ways, right? There's a dock that needs work. Boards are missing, dry rot everywhere. No trespassing, says King County, right? So nothing fancy here, but they want $889,000 for this. So if you're dumb enough to pay $1 million for a lot of land on waterfront, here's your contact information. John Kritzinus and Colin Dalrymple, who might be related to the Dalrymple who built my parents' house, I wonder. There's the QR code. If you want to scan that, go ahead.
Didn't they do a bad job on the house?
It was okay. And if you work at Microsoft, it's just minutes to Redmond, right? And you can get the 520. There's the MLS number if you want to look it up on the multiple listing service. 2340100. Meg wants to go. There's our bicycles. I'm going to use the facility right here too. I love crows. Hi there, crow. Hello. That's Meg right there. I'm not sure, she's looking at the beautiful flowers probably. There's lots of pretty flowers there. Look here, we've got America the Beautiful. I like that. And in God we trust. Amen, brother and sister, whoever put this here. I completely agree. America is beautiful, and we trust God. So does Meg.